Greetings programs and welcome back to CK2 and a bit of a mess as well, because at the end of the last episode, well, King Jurahi finally popped his clogs. I think he's been one of the more successful kings of Scotland, and we got Emrys in his place. Now Emrys is actually a former king of France, and it took me a while to remember that, yeah, actually that's the same Emrys. So he's gone from being a one-time king of France to now a king of Scotland instead. That has brought with it a couple of French counties. We've got Foix down here on the border between the Iberian Peninsula and France proper, although it's all Aquitaine at the moment. We've also got a couple of counties more towards the middle. Now this war we're in right now is actually an Aquitanian internal war. The Count of Blois, who is this guy, let's see, this guy here, is contesting the Duchy of Orleans title. And presumably Emrys was supporting him. Well, he obviously was supporting him because I've been dragged in. But the Duke of Orleans was actually winning that. So I don't know if the game is just going to automatically kick me out, or if I'm just suddenly going to now be involved with this internal war. I'm not entirely certain what's going to happen, to be honest, but we will have to, once that's sorted out, decide what we're going to do with these French counties. And it's a bit of an issue. Now, more land is good, but it's in a really awkward, pretty indefensible place. This is all inland in France. None of this is, you know, on the coastline at all. And so sooner or later, the King of Aquitaine is going to go, aha, I've got de jure claims on that land, and he'll press those claims. And then I'm going to be fighting against Aquitaine. And that's going to be annoying because, well, I have a decent number of troops, but I don't have the number of troops I had when Scotland was at its peak, when we had all of Ireland and Wales under our control as well. So it's probably not a war I can win. However, Aquitaine's power has been a bit diminished. They're actually losing their grip on their Portuguese holdings. That used to be a much bigger chunk of land. And now, as you can see, various duchies have broken away. And Castile is, well, it's maybe reasserting its authority a bit. Though they're still capes, so there might be some inheritances or something happening at some point. And speaking of inheritances, that reminds me of another thing that we have to also sort out. The current Tanist is this one here, Margaret MacJedi. Now, good news is she has no kids, she's only 20, and although she had a regular marriage, the man she was married to, who was a thick Scotsman, Bavik of Carlisle, he's dead. So we can get her remarried matrilineally. And that's going to be, obviously, you know, what we want for keeping the MacJedi line going. This obviously matters less with Tanistry laws, but it's just useful, the fact that he's popped his clog. So we're actually going to do that before we do anything else. We're going to look for a suitable spouse. Most of whom probably will be actually MacJedis as well, won't they? Yes. We'll go for the one that isn't a MacJedi. This is just a courtier, fake Scottish, and she'll lose prestige for marrying him, but we'll just go with it. We'll actually take the prestige there. Now, Emrys, being former king of France, is actually, I've just noticed how much prestige he's and piety he's come with. Most of the time you get people taking over the throne. They don't have nearly that much, but of course, former king of France, so that helps a bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to unpause. Well, actually, before we do, we'll have a quick look. Let's see, weak claims. Could press a claim for a caption guy. We don't really want to do that. I could press a claim for Scotland too for a Buchanan that happens to be in my court. Wait, I have a Buchanan in my court. Wait. Fergus Buchanan. Fergus Buchanan. Who is Fergus Buchanan? I didn't realise I had a Buchanan in my court. How did you sneak in? Where are you? I don't think he's directly in my court. He must be in the court of one of my vassals, because I'm not seeing a Fergus Buchanan there. We have to investigate this. We have to. There's a Buchanan somewhere. Apparently I can't spell Fergus. Right, Fergus, Spy Master of Athol. So he's in the county of Athol, which is currently a direct vassal, rather than being under... Oh, there's some internal doings in the Duchy of Lothian there. Is that Lothian? Or is that... No, Albany. There we go. Anyway, yes, so... Oh, there's a bunch of Buchanans that have taken shelter in her court. And it's the same family dynasty. It is the actual Buchanans. And, oh, hello! No! No, really? No! The Buchanans have married into the MacJedi line. No! No! How did this happen? Oh, that's filthy. Oh, I feel unclean now. That's almost as bad as finding out that the caption guys had somehow married into the MacJedi line, except I don't think the caption guys would somehow. I said Muck-caption guys there. Well, I suppose they would be if they moved up north of the border, wouldn't they? They'd be the Muck-caption guys. Yeah, God, that's... Ugh. Ugh. I'm gonna have to go and take a wash now. Those Buchanans messing up my lovely, lovely MacJedi DNA. That's just... Ugh. Yeah, so, okay, anyway. We can't just have him summarily executed or locked up or anything because he's not in my court. Anyhow... Right, no, we're not immediately going out of that war. I do seem to have a bunch of troops just sat down here. I'll maybe replace Emrys now. He's a good general. He's a very good general, but we don't want to risk him in some petty war down here when he's only just taken over as king. If he died so soon, that would be... a bit annoying. As for the rest of these French provinces, actually, I mean, while they're marching in there, well, we won't let them march in on me paying attention to other things because we've maybe had issues with that previously. Is there any way? No, I can't. I mean, the best way to avoid future conflict with Aquitaine would be if I could somehow unload these counties on Aquitaine. Unfortunately, CK2 does not have a mechanism whereby you can go, oh, I'll buy this county from you, or I'll sell this county to you. You can't swap land for money or for other deals, which, of course, you know, people were doing a lot in this time period. Maybe not so much land for money. That's more of a later thing, I suppose. But, you know, monarchs swapping bits of land, or, you know, the nobility swapping bits of land in return for favours or treaties or whatever. That was not an uncommon thing. You can't do that in CK2, unfortunately. You can in EU4, although I think in EU4 you can only ever offer to sell provinces. And it's basically a human player thing. The AI never offers to sell you provinces in EU4. But there isn't even that mechanism. I can't sell the King of Aquitaine this land. And I don't think, make use of the transfer vassalage mechanic. I think that is purely within the realm. And you can, if you use that mechanic, you can take a single count, for instance, and go, right, you're going to be under that duke there. So they're no longer your direct vassal, and they're not affecting your vassal limit if you're playing a version with the game where the vassal limit is a thing. So this might just end up with an awkward war with Aquitaine that I just, you know, don't contest, that I just let them take the land. Because I don't really think I can... Like, it's not defensible. It's in the middle of France. This is way down on the southern borders of, you know, in the Pyrenees. So, yeah, there's not a lot I can do there except just give it to other people and see how long we hold on to it for. Anyway, there was an army this big floating around. I'm not quite sure how the war score's at minus 89%. And I'm not quite sure why I'd be helping somebody now at this point take, the Duchy of Orleans, but I've got the army there, so I might as well use it. I've also just realised this, for some reason there's a random barony that belongs to the Duke of Orleans, which I don't think we'll be able to get control of. But Tanistry messages, there's lots of confusing Tanistry messages there. There we go, we won that battle. The Knights Templar, who are a vassal of Pisa? What? How did the Knights Templar end up as a vassal of Pisa? That's... Wow, Pisa, actually, the Knights Templar and the Knights Hospitalier. I wonder if that's to do with the Crusades. I mean, we haven't really looked around the map in a while. Pisa's basically got Sicily. And, is that Calabria? I can't remember that bit of Italy there. So Pisa's been, they've got Venice as a vassal. Duke of Benevento. There's not been any more Crusades super recently, but they've clearly not been totally inactive. Huh, they've beaten out Venice as their rival. Actually, let's take a quick look at the trade zones. Yeah, Pisa is absolutely dominating the Mediterranean trade right now. Dumfries is not doing so badly either. They've actually almost got the coast of Britain blanketed with trade zones. Yeah, that is a bit interesting, and we've already seen what's going on down here in the Iberian Peninsula. I think it must be somehow to do with the Crusades, the fact that they've ended up with not one but two holy orders as their vassals, because there are ways to get holy orders and mercenary companies, particularly, as your vassals. In fact, in the newer, the latest version of the game, you directly found your own mercenary company, but there were ways to cheese it a bit previously, which involved sort of hiring them, deliberately running out of cash, they turn against you, and then at which point they seize a bit of land within your de jure holdings, and then at some point you go back and use the de jure claim to vassalize them, which is all very long-winded. Anyway, yeah, elsewhere, I don't know, the Golden Horde's still dominating the eastern part of the map. Norway is pretty dominant in Scandinavia. Sweden's looking very squeezed there. When it comes to... I still have the grand dream of someday maybe taking Scandinavia, but it might be a bit far-fetched at this point. Oh, apparently the Prince Archbishop of Finland is now... He's thrown off the yoke of Scotland too. So we've transplanted some fake Scottish culture. Now, he's proper Scottish. He's Finnish. He's Lappish, apparently. Yeah, it's... I don't know. Look at the culture map there. Well, that's become Swedish. But quite a lot of the... of Scandinavia is now Norwegian. Yeah, no, okay, that's... I don't know, I hadn't even realised that had happened, that Finland had broken free. Which, I don't know. I still have the dream of eventually doing that, but I don't know. It might be a long time. We do still have a couple of 100 years left. Anyway, good grief. This is one of those episodes where I don't really get very far without just stopping, and there's just so much has apparently happened while I've not been paying attention, or, has happened in the background. So that is... That's huge. I mean, just winning that fight there gave us like 20% war score. Otherwise, I think we were... Okay, so that's my regular armies. That's my retinue armies. And I think we were going to try and intercede with Scotland too again, weren't we? Offer to join war. No, that option... Is he still... Was it Scotland too, or was it one of the... I can't remember. So the Duke of Deheubarth still MacJedi. I've slightly lost count at this point. I've lost track of of, you know, who's MacJedi's and who's not. They were at one point MacJedi's, but I think it ended up flipping to someone else. Dublin obviously not. And I'm sure there's Warwick or somewhere. But yeah, Scotland too is just barely hanging on. So they're at war with... Okay, that's just a... he's at peace with Ulster. And he's now defending in a civil war, so that's fine. We can't do anything about that. So Ulster we might persuade to come back into the fold at some point. I wonder if there's even... Oh, there's an offer vassalization button. There's actually a fair few pluses there, but I think there's just too many minuses for me to be able to realistically bring them back in diplomatically. If we could get control of the Scotland 2 crown again, which with Dynastic might well happen, but probably not in this next generation. Everyone's voting for Margaret. It's actually a little unusual to see so many people voting for a female Tanist, but I might as well add my vote in there as well. So we might have a queen. Have we had a queen that I've played as? I know we've had one queen. Where am I looking? We want the history. There we go. Queen Effa, that was it. But she wasn't a player-controlled character. I was playing as a Dinfed, and we lost control of Scotland to Effa, and then eventually we got it back. That was a fun bit of, you know, fun set of wars. But yeah, it's a nice roster of MacJedi's there. And Jurahi lasted a fair old number of years. Just over 20 years. He's not the longest serving MacJedi monarch, but he didn't do too badly though. Didn't do too badly at all. So one of the longer reigning MacJedi's. King Jason now favours himself as the heir to the Kingdom of England. I wonder if we can we vote on that? Of course, we now have we can now see France and Aquitaine because we've got land there. Nominate myself. Let's try and nominate Jason. We do have because we hold titles which are de jure part of England. We do have a vote now that they're elective. So the current presumptive is a caption guy, Duchess Edith. I managed to run those together, but she's 61, so who knows if she'll last. Limited crown authority in England. We'll say ignore that for now. We don't want there to be a powerful English monarch. We definitely don't want there to be a powerful English monarch. My beloved granddaughter Deirdre is concerned she's still not married. I'm sure we can do something about that. I can possibly even do it matrilineally. Although, oh, we're not paused. Yeah, there's two, the King of Alania and then the Kaiser of the Holy Roman Empire. We could betroth her to an emperor, which would be fairly prestigious. It's not the first time we've married a MacJedi off to be an empress. Sure, we'll go for that. We'll. Although it's saying we'll get no alliance. Maybe because she's not a particularly... She's my granddaughter, but for some reason that means she's not important enough to get an alliance. But we'll do it anyway. You never know what will happen as a result. We might get some claims in Germany, or who knows, we might end up with a smattering of counties elsewhere. I've just noticed Bohemia's broken free. Interesting. They are at war, though. The Provençal League Independence War. Well, presumably that's Provence and maybe some other people. My son Art asked me for a fief of his own to govern. I mean, sure, we'll give him one of the... Yeah, we could actually give him one of the... we'll give him Foix. We'll see how he does down in... the the Count of Foix. So there you go. Well, that's taken away my steward for some reason. And Grand Mayor of Dumfries. Should I actually just check? We can definitely do better in terms of marshals. We could have Dorjander, MacJedi, but we'll go with Godfrey, Duke of Albany, because that'll give a nice little bump to his opinion of me. And it's not quite like with Conclave, where you've got to carefully... I almost prefer without Conclave to having Conclave, because Conclave you end up a lot of the time making council appointments based on appeasing vassals, and at some point once you get over a certain size you've got way more vassals than you have council positions, and it becomes just such an annoying juggling act. Anyway, so yes, that betrothal is on, so my granddaughter's going to get packed off to a nice palace by the Rhine, it looks like, which you know, there are worse places in the world to be. I'm honestly kind of surprised that England isn't going after Scotland too, because they're so weak at the moment, but they might do at some point. They might do. Anyway, while that siege is happening, let's have a quick look at the other possible claims. There's none that I can directly make, I don't think. I've got 2 potential Norwegian claims, but would I want to take on Norway at the moment? I mean, what's my military strength? Maximum possible 12k. Good grief, that is actually quite substantial, but that's possibly because I've got these, yeah, these quite well developed French counties. One of the reasons why France is considered quite dangerous in CK2 is that the I don't know if it's tied to the economy map or not, but I think the number of holdings in a province does have something to do with it. The manpower they can muster is potentially quite dangerous, but the counterbalance for the HRE is that you know, they can potentially get some quite big armies as well. So yeah, maximum of 12k. Maybe I don't want to give away all of these provinces, but the thing is, any troops I raise there are then stranded in the middle of France, so it's quite awkward. Also, Burgundy. Wait, the jour... Is that all... No, what? Oh, is that because those county borders are flashing anyway and it's just making life confusing? I think it is. I'm trying to figure out what the de jure borders of Burgundy are, but I think it's this bit here and it's just the other flashing borders are making life confusing. So we don't have enough titles there to, you know, usurp the title of the Duchy of Burgundy. Interestingly, Flanders is independent. I wonder if that represents a possible opportunity. Well, this clearly refers to an event that happened to Emrys but never happened to me. You suddenly wake up in a cold sweat. The cook's wife. You had her imprisoned for the supposed theft of a necklace all those years ago, but you forgot to let her out. Quick, to the dungeons! You are too late. The jailer explains that she passed away in a dark corner of her cell several years ago from the plague. Her remains were dumped together with the countless other thieves and cutthroats who perished in the same epidemic. This might explain why you caught your cook spitting in the stew the other day. Whoops, minus 50 piety. Well, that's Emrys's fault. That's not my fault, but never mind. I'm getting punished for Emrys's past deeds. So, yeah, despite the fact that we potentially have a maximum of I was looking at the ledger, wasn't I, of 12k troops, a lot of that is from the new French counties. And they are putting me rather over my domain limit. So we do need to shift them off on somebody else. So I'm just kind of interested where we stand though currently. Potential maximum manpower 21,000, which is pretty decent. And where does that stand next to what Norway could potentially muster? I would have thought Norway would be not higher up than that, but only about 6,000. Although I think that's like a real-time figure, so maybe Norway's manpower is recovering. And also there is, of course, the fact that these tend to be more sparse provinces, and you know, it's a fair geographical area, but some of these counties are pretty big in size. Okay, that's a plot that we don't care about. Somebody fabricating a claim on somebody else inside a duchy. Oh, also, talking about fabricating claims, we should actually set our Chancellor doing that right away. I mean, one thing I did notice in the ledger is we have a fair manpower advantage on England right now, so we should absolutely make use of that. I was trying to previously fabricate a claim on York, but of course the council got shifted over when King Emrys came in, so yeah. Let's have a quick look. We've actually got a fair whack of cash. I've just noticed that as well. We could maybe... Gallowglass... Training ground. I'll just go with a militia training ground. That's the safe bet. The culture-specific ones can... And it's a bit of a... I don't know if you call it a bug or if it's just an annoying feature, but if the culture of the dynasty shifts, sometimes the special buildings shift. And if you've got one from the previous culture already built, I've experienced it. And I don't know if it still happens in the most recent versions of the game, but I've experienced it where that building just vanishes, and it's not like you get a refund of the gold or anything like that. It's just wasted investment. So a lot of the time, I don't bother building those culture-specific upgrades for fear of just wasting the gold, essentially. Anyhow, but yeah, Castle MacJedi's, like, in terms of the levy I can get from Castle MacJedi alone, that's like 2,500, so that's fairly healthy. I should maybe invest in some upgrades for the rest of my Scottish holdings as well. No, you can't, oh there we go. I was thinking, surely you can drag those around, you can. Also, we want a siege apparently, which I should probably go and pay attention to. I mean, this isn't one of those wars where I especially have to worry about, like, it's a single duke. Oh, okay, there we go. A son has been born to Tanist Margaret, so that's good. Yeah, it's a single duke, and his forces are just about done. I mean, he's got no one joining in on his side, so we can easily turn that war around. I don't think I'll get anything out of it personally, but it'll be worth a bit of prestige, so we might as well. Anyway, so yes, we were seeing what else we could spend some of this accumulated money on. There's a lot of potential upgrades in Dagobah. We'll go for a keep level 4 in Tain, and then we'll not spend any more money for now. We'll hang on to the rest of our cash. But yeah, that's quite an expensive upgrade, but plus 20% to your levy and your garrison is fairly substantial. So maybe have a quick look at technology levels. And we can actually invest in... Oh, good. Military organization's a good one. Morale goes up, retinue size goes up, and your supply limit goes up. So you suffer less attrition in, I think, friendly provinces. I'm not sure if it affects other provinces. Well, there's all kinds of internal wars going on at the moment. King Jason now favours King Emrys as the heir to the Kingdom of England. He just can't make his mind up at all. He just keeps flipping his vote. Voting for himself, voting for me, I don't know. It'd be nice if he'd just make his mind up. It's funny, you know, I was reading an article about CK2 the other day where it was... I can't remember if it was an article or an interview. But it basically... it was one of the devs... Yeah, there we go. It's changed his mind again. Good grief, King Jason. One of the devs was talking about how it's actually a relatively simple set of interactions between the characters. And a lot of it is based on all the personality trait stuff. And there's a couple of hidden kind of stats that go along with that, that these personality traits can influence. But that it's the fact that, you know, there are lots and lots of different possible interactions that then gives this feeling of complexity. And of course, because these systems are then built around the idea that these are characters, that these are people, suddenly these interactions gain a flavour of, you know, you build up the histories in your head, and thus series like this become, you know, the game doesn't care about Buchanans, the game doesn't care about Caption Guys and MacJedis, but you, the player, care about it, and so it builds up into a thing, and it's really clever game design. Anyway, we've lost the Marshal. Duke Godfrey has popped his clogs, apparently, so we need a new Marshal. Could appoint the Duke of Moray. He doesn't like me very much. It's, again, kind of a political appointment. This, you'll see right there, domain too big, -40. This is why we need to shift off some of these provinces as possible. What's my stewardship? It's not bad. Emrys's stats are actually pretty good overall. I mean, his learning's a bit weak, but the rest of them are pretty reasonable. Oh, we've got the ambition to improve learning. Unfortunately, we can't improve stewardship. It's not like post Way of Life, where you can attempt by picking a life focus to actually improve various stats specifically. That was a good DLC, by the way. That's one of the... I've done recommended lists in the past, and if I was doing one now, it'll probably need a bit of updating, because, you know, various other DLC have come out since then, but Way of Life was definitely a good one. Right, Duchess Deirdre of Albany has inherited... okay. Deirdre Macduff. And her son, Lachlan, has yet to produce any heirs. So that... Oh, there are some other Macduffs, though, so presumably at some point they might marry. And that you know, it's not going to pass outside the realm or anything like that, which I think is technically a possibility at the moment. Where are we with laws? Oh, we could apparently change laws. Ooh. I can't remember which law it's tied to. It might actually be Crown Authority. Yeah, I think it is Crown Authority. Yeah, High Crown Authority. You need High Crown Authority to stop it passing outside the realm. I kind of prefer one of the improvements that has been made is the laws screen is maybe a little bit clearer now. It's been broken out into separate things. But yeah, we'll have a go. Because it's -10 for everybody, but as you can see, the levy sizes go up, and it maybe cuts down on the amount of internal turmoil that we've been having in some of these duchies. So, list of opponents. I'm kind of surprised the Mayor of Dumfries is against it. He's got pretty good... Can we give him an honorary title, maybe sway his opinion a bit? Hi, Almoner. Let's do that. And who else? Duchess of Albany. Let's award her... Oh, wait. I think we could have given her High Almoner. There's some fairly like the list of the limitations of the honorary titles that you can give to women is a bit annoying sometimes. I can't give him an honorary title. Earl of Argyle, can give him an honorary title. Master of the Horse, why not? It's one of the few ways in which you can sort of try and buy favours, as it were. Whereas, of course, newer versions of the game, I find myself doing this a lot these days, like referring back and forth, because I do play, you know, new or up-to-date current CK2 as well. No, I can't give him a honorary title, but yeah, you can specifically, like, you can throw some cash at somebody and they will owe you a favour that you can then call in, and that's another nice little mechanic that's been added to the game. Right, apparently we need a court chaplain. Okay, the Bishop of Lindisfarne. Right. You've come into possession of the Confessions of St. Augustine, a series of tomes detailing the life and times of Augustine of Hippo, a Christian theologian from Roman Africa who lived many centuries ago. Studying this historical work could provide insights that improve your learning. Well, just on the basis that St. Augustine is probably one of the most influential early Christian theologians, just on that basis, I'm going to read it, and this probably will be, this actually will be tied to my learning ambition. At last you have finished your studies of St. Augustine's Confessions. It took many nights of reading with only the light of a candle to keep you company, but you do not regret a second of it. Your learning has improved, and that's +2 learning. Very nice. Now, potentially, if we got another event, because learning, like the ambitions cap out at 8, but sometimes the learning events, or just the ambition events, give you +2. So you can, through luck, you can actually end up bumping your stats up to 9 instead of 8. But it is really just luck. I devote myself to the service of the church and eradicating her enemies. I've not yet fallen to any of the mortal sins, nor do I shy away from danger. I am Galahad. Okay. True Christian Knight. That's a nice modifier. I've also got a kind of celibate trait, but it's not a proper trait. It's more of a celibacy modifier. But this Christian Knight one is that's pretty useful. Church vassal opinion +10, piety bump plus yeah. Right, so I guess we'll just keep sieging. Not a lot I can do, really. Make sure I've got generals for all of those. Right. Oh, I've got Paris. I've just realised that county is Paris. It's because the extra shields are blocking the way. Also, apologies if you can hear the creaking of my chair. Yes, it's a pretty nice chair. It's the chair I won in Poland when I went away as a guest of Wargaming to do the Warships show match. But it does creak a bit more than I thought it would. But it was one of these ones where they send it to your flat pack and you basically bolt it all together yourself. And part of the base was slightly skew-if, and I wasn't the only person that had that. It wasn't me putting it together wrong. Everybody that got this that was in Poland, the base plate bit that the bottom of the chair sits on, it was slightly out of true, so you could get 3 of the bolts in, but the 4th one was a real struggle. Anyway, daughter was born to Dorjander. I don't know why it's telling me this, except that he's a MacJedi. Anyway, and he's had a daughter, so he's probably fairly pleased about that. So this is the barony of Meaux, I guess that's pronounced, being sieged, and the Duke of Orleans has got holdings here and here as well, and he has sieged that, but that's actually that's oh, he's brought in the Duke of Gascony. Why is it showing? Oh, okay. I'm looking in the wrong. I was thinking, that looks like a lot of troops, because I was seeing the troop total, but no, it is only 1600 odd. Because those armies have clearly suffered some setbacks. What we can do then is send our army down there. Right, Crusade for Jerusalem. Surprise, surprise. It's Pisa. And he wants his domains back again. So, round whatever this is, fight! It is a bit ridiculous how many times it's gone back and forth. And oh, hello. Okay, he won that little war with Wales, and he's won his civil war as well. Oh, right. Wait. So this is it's still Jason. And he's pressing okay, he's still defending, but he's also he's prosecuting the war, so he wants to. What's he actually trying to do there? The Deheubarthian War for Count Pandulf's claim on Hereford. I don't think so. don't think so. That's kind of a rather... Like, I'm involved in one quite petty war in France anyway that's just holdover from when I was a vassal of Aquitaine, or when Emrys was a vassal of Aquitaine, but getting further bogged down in like over a single county claim war, nah. Oh, okay. This is a MacJedi. The Knights of Calatrava. It's become... Oh, he's become the Spy Master. Okay, right. They are not, surprisingly, a vassal of Pisa, but, you know, give it time. Give it time. Okay, we won the Battle of Blois. That'll give us some war score. In fact, we just lift the siege of the county seat. We will get even more war score back. I'm really just... I mean, I could have just not contested this war, but we might as well get the prestige out of it because it's easily winnable with the troops that we were able to raise. The danger is that he keeps calling in more and more French dukes, at which point it might be a bigger problem, but I don't think it will be. There's also some other wars. I don't know, Aquitaine's not the most internally stable place. So, oh, well, they won whatever rumblings was going on down here, though. But it's still looking a little patchier than it was before. Interesting. Anyway, yeah, I think there might be... I mean, the Iberian Peninsula is looking like a very unsettled place. There might be some interesting back and forths going there, because Castile is clearly going to want as much of the, you know, the peninsula as they can get. But there's still some Muslim rules hanging on down there in the south as well. So, yes. Anyway, our knowledge of improved keeps in Orleans has increased to level 4. Any other messages that are of interest? Not really. Just some rather minor things there. Right, who else has joined in the Crusade? Fair bunch of people, actually. Teutonic Order, Essex, England has committed forces. Norfolk is somehow an independent county? How did that happen? And can we declare war on them? No. Also, there's a little modifier there. Declaring war on somebody in a crusade will cost us additional piety. So we'll maybe hold off that. Although we've got a fair pool of piety. Anyway, the Kaiser has come of age. Kaiser Humbert. And so we'll pack off Deirdre. And she's now going to be the Empress. The Kaiseress? I don't know how you'd render that in German. I don't know where this house has come from, by the way. I mean, there has been one other previous Kaiser, and that's obviously his son that's inherited, but Duke of Meissen? It looks like they married a duchess and then they've managed to, in 2 generations, they've gone from just... it looks like the distaff line of some other count. So they've gone from count, and then one of them managed to marry a duchess, and his heir then became the duke, and then his son became the emperor. That's not bad going. That's not bad going. The House of Znojmo? I don't even know how you'd say that. It looks almost like Croatian or Serbian or something. Right, England managed to get limited crown authority passed, which is not that big of a bother, although it does prompt me to check how my own attempt at changing the law is going. It's kind of run aground. It's really only me and Dumfries voting for it. Maybe sprinkle some gold. It's a pity it doesn't tell you who has how many votes, but let's say I was going to give 75 gold is manageable. Let's say I was going to give him 75 gold. Would that change his position? Apparently not. I think it's just based on how much... Oh, no, there we go. I think it's just based on how much they like you. But Duke of Lothian seeks to fabricate a claim on the Kingdom of Scotland. It's tempting. That's. We've had enough of these. We've had enough of these. Okay, he's automatically had an end plot thing from myself because I've got the auto stop plots checkbox ticked. So you know that should stop on its own. But if it doesn't, you know, we might have to arrange a little accident for him. Right, let's just go nobble that army. Get some more war score back. I'm kind of tempted to... Like, the reason why I've not gotten rid of any more of these counties yet is because I've got troops raised from these counties. So transferring control means I'll lose control of those... the troops will revert to the proper owner of those provinces. Where are you marching? Anyway. Jurahi MacJedi. Okay, let's get her married. Oh, Alvar, King of Castile, you know. Let's have a quick look. I mean, he does have some heirs already, so it's not like it would be prestigious. But I think we'll actually try for a matrilineal marriage. We'll see who's available for that. Pretty much just MacJedi's from around the kingdom at this point. We can't do much about it, but you know they're going to be distantly related enough that I'm sure it's fine, and it probably won't end up in a situation where Queen Victoria's the great grandmother of half the royalty of Europe. Or anything like that. Oh, they're pushing for medium crown authority. They're really going great guns. Right, maybe I just need to bribe a bunch of people. But it's a pity it won't tell me who has the votes. In theory, dukes have more votes. So let's, for instance, try... it's 46 gold. Let's try bribing her. Oh, there we go. I've gotten medium crown authority law passed. Good. So that means, if we look at the effects, no longer shall we have the rumblings from the interior. Yes, we don't like rumblings from the interior. So we shouldn't have people starting wars within duchies to contest, you know, the titles of duchies, or people trying to steal land from other dukes and that kind of thing. That should be a thing of the past now. So that should give some stability to the realm. Anyway, right. Let's march them back in. And just beat up that army. The burghers of Dijon. Always nice to have a bit of Dijon busted on your burghers. Demand that city law be set higher than canonical laws, but the bishops protest, declaring the law of the church should supersede the law of the city. Looking over the laws should be equal. Or I can specifically annoy that one vassal bishop, which I don't really care that much about. So we might as well go with a thing that at least gives me a positive bump with somebody. Right, so there we go. We've won that fight. We'll just go and beat up that Gascon army. If we can get to them. Oh, they've just arrived with a bigger army. Interesting. Oh no, wait, that's a separate army. That's an army from Limousin, who are actually now in this war as well. Okay, yes, they are just steadily calling more people in, which is as long as we can bash the armies separately, if we can just nobble them one at a time, I can just keep getting war score that way. And they're marching into Paris. So we can intercept them before they get to Chartres. Nope. We can march in there while they're fighting against that army from Poitiers. There we go. Completely nobbled the lot of them, which is all fine and good. And then we can go and tackle this army from Limousin. It's a fun and completely true fact that just as Champagne is only truly Champagne if it comes from the Champagne region of France, limousines are only actually considered to be proper limousines if they come from the Limousin region of France. It's completely true. Completely true. And I didn't just make that up as a silly joke at all. Yes. No. That would be a lie. That would be a complete lie if you considered that to be the case. And you're just completely mistaken. Yes. I'm always 100% correct in everything I do. So let's go and siege that barony. I suppose that's the closest one. Those guys are on my side, right? I mean, we've had. Yeah, no, that's the forces of the county of Blois. How do we even adjectivize that? The Bloisian forces, the Blasé forces. I'm so good at French. I'm so good at English. I'm just good at all languages, basically. Every language that there is, I'm some kind of genius. I think I'm just looking at this, you know, and the limit I've got. I think I'll try and hold on to Paris personally, just because Paris is a pretty wealthy province. And it seems somehow fitting that, you know, considering the actual history of Scotland and various treaties with France that we've had over the centuries, that a Scottish king should be controlling Paris right now. Although I don't know if that is just... I don't know, it's sort of amusing to me, vaguely, because apparently I'm easily amused like that. Right, they've managed to assemble themselves some more troops. Trying to lift that siege. I don't know whether to just stick with this siege. Oh, he's calling the Duchess of Carcassonne, who is my daughter-in-law. Because Prince Liam is... Okay, that's getting... They just call it. I called it. They're just calling it more and more people, and the troop numbers are rising. Of course, mine are steadily getting whittled away by attrition. And trade post in Clydesdale. Don't care about that. There's not a whole lot I can do about it. I could dismiss the troops and then kind of re-raise the levies, because you can see the levy bars are partially filled again. But yeah, it's getting to the point where I'm more now needing them to attack me, and therefore I can take advantage of defensive bonuses at that stage, in theory. Although we're getting to the stage with this, I mean, we're getting on for an hour now, where I think I might just wrap up the recording anyway. It is as if I see Sophie for the first time, her good-natured spirit, the interesting, funny quirks she has, and how lovely she really is. Could it be that I really love my Sophie? Well, why not? Sophie de Blois. I didn't even think to check the stats, the traits of my wife. She's strong, apparently. She's actually scarred. I don't know how that happened. Deceitful, brave, cruel, diligent. She's got some pretty decent traits, although she's also cruel and... deceitful, but yeah, screw it, we'll go for it, because having a spouse as a lover is it can bring some pretty good benefits. And oh, King Fulk caption guy, we have a new King of England. Ignore. I'm guessing the Duchess of whoever it was or wherever it was oh, okay. I'm guessing he passed over. And talking of passing over. Well, so much for King Emrys. Long live Queen Margaret. Yeah, I mean, Emrys was fairly old. Emrys was actually older than Jurahi when he passed on, but I was hoping to get more than one episode out of Emrys, and instead, here we are with our first elected queen through Dynastic, King Margaret. So we're going to pause there. This is definitely a place to break the episode. I don't know what's going to happen with this. I mean, it's not an important war anyway. I don't win or lose any territory out of it, but we will. I'm actually struggling even more for demines. Demine. I'm so in the habit of saying demence after all these years of getting it wrong. Anyway, yeah, we're still going to have to get rid of those, but that's an even like lower limit. So we're going to have to. We'll cancel that ambition and we'll pick an ambition to improve stewardship. I think that'll be my initial goal for this character. She's 25 as well, so that bodes reasonably well in terms of how long she'll last for. And yeah, well, I guess we'll find out what happens going forwards in the next episode. So hopefully you've enjoyed this one, and if you have, you can hit the like button, you can leave any comments below, you can sub to my channel if you haven't already, and as always, stay tuned for more.